Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Today is a special day for those who play a pivotal role in the family circle. These are the fathers, and messages from the pulpit centered on how fathers should uphold their rightful place as heads of the family. Now, the night of St. Mulumba marks its 70th anniversary with a very important personality in attendance. From an individual to groups, all celebrating God's essence for mankind, which is showing love. Also on the program tonight, Autistic Pride Day is being commemorated with advocacy for close monitoring and attention for parents with autism. Now, affection is important, but abuse is an act everyone detests. And for this reason, a group of women whose husbands are custodians of tradition in the FCT is amplifying its voice against gender-based violence. Many thanks for joining us on Sunday Magazine. We sincerely apologize for starting behind schedule. We had to bring you the 2023 AFCON qualifier between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. And we are glad to let you know that Nigeria has just qualified for the Nations Cup. We shall be right back to stay. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Thanks for staying tuned. And we begin. There is an urgent call to teach children family values in order to secure their future. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, said this at the closing of the 70th anniversary celebration of Night of St. Mulumba in Abuja. Rosemary Matalel Bilal reports.
The two-day event for the 70th anniversary celebration of Night of St. Mulumba attracted dignitaries from far and near, with Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, who is also a proud member of the KSM, in attendance.
The challenge today is to dedicate and commit ourselves to strive for even greater accomplishments everywhere the Night of St. Mulumba is established. I am proud to be part of an organization like this.
Bishop Hilary Dachelim of Bauchi Diocese, in his message to Nigerians, commended members for sustaining the organization for 70 years and still counting.
We should do better, but you can see the Night of St. Mulumba doing very well. They are products of Nigeria. So whatever will keep Nigeria together, whatever will make us be together, not without a couple of mistakes, let us join our hands. Nigeria can work.
Leaders promised to sustain the gesture and to continue doing the charity work that the group is known for.
We stand for one indivisible Nigeria. We fight oppression no matter how hard. And we're the voice of the voiceless.
One of our projects this year is to go into the grassroots to touch lives one-on-one.
We engage in spiritual upliftment of our members. We also engage in charity activities.
Members have the mandate of using their time, talent and treasure for the betterment of the society and the world at large.
And with all that is done to appreciate mothers, fathers too should not be left out of the trend. In this light, while marking this year's Father's Day, husbands were charged to rise up to the occasion and become change agents in the family for Christ. Charity Zaka, who covered the Sunday church service, has the report.
As bedrocks of the home, fathers play vital roles to make sure life of family members remain in good shape and is safe. In commemoration of this year's Father's Day at the St. Matthew's Anglican Church, Maitama, the priest Venerable Festus Nwafeli described fathers as prophets and priests over their household. Hence the call on fathers and husbands to wake up to their core mandates and responsibilities as prescribed in the Bible.
The true change we long to see in the society will begin with men rising up in their various homes as true fathers.
You cannot give what you do not have, so you can only give what you have. It takes a transformed father to effect the change we are looking for today in the family.
And a transformed father and a transformed home is what we look out for. so that our society will be transformed.
While at the Evangelical Church within Old Central area, the clergy spoke about proper mentorship for men and women in propagating the ministry of the kingdom.
Christian leadership is suffering because we are not mentoring our youth today. But when we mentor them properly, definitely we'll have leaders that will glorify God tomorrow.
When you talk about mentoring, you are raising others to become like you.
The best thing we need at this moment now is this leadership example, and that is what you're going to develop in that mentee.
The church service rounded up with the giving of substance for the propagation of the gospel, while the choir and the congregation sing praises in worship for the life of fathers.
Parish priest of Holy Rosary Catholic Church, Wuse, Abuja, Reverend Father Peter Secondus, has admonished Christians to live by virtues of Christianity and look towards the cross for redemption. The cleric gave the admonition in a sermon during Mass at the Victory Home for Children Orphanage, Gwarimpa, Abuja. Odirio Boru Arutere reports.
Reverend Father Peter Secondus urged children of the Victory Home Orphanage to have the fear of God, shun bad behavior and acts capable of causing them to sin, accompanied by other parishioners and Reverend Sister in charge of the orphanage. Reverend Secondus entertained the children with games.
We follow us with our faith, and we are talking about the great exchange from the Beatitudes today, that God, Jesus Christ, exchanged our pain to give us gain, exchanged our sorrow to give us joy, exchanged our poverty to give us riches, and takes away our shame to give us a name and fame. It's about the great exchange. If we are in alignment with our assignment given by God, God will give us the fruits of the Beatitude.
The visit by Reverend Father Secondus was characterized by celebration of the goodness of the Lord as he marked his first birthday in the convent as a priest.
And as part of its social responsibility and in line with activities marking the anniversary of the church, the Redeemed Christian Church of God Province 2, His Unity Sanctuary, has organized a medical outreach for residents of Pipeline Community, Kubwa, in Abuja. Senior pastor of the church, Pastor Yemi Ayodele, says the outreach is a yearly program aimed at improving the health status of the community. Sefia Norma Uche reports.
Many people, including women, children, and the aged, came out to benefit from the free medical outreach. Tests were carried out for malaria, typhoid, blood pressure, sugar levels, and hepatitis. Senior Pastor Yemi Ayodele says several people have benefited from the yearly outreach.
We attend to between 300 and 500 people every year, attend to their medical needs as well as spiritual needs.
I'm here to attend to all the needs. So irrespective of the body condition or the health condition, we attend to both pediatric, adult, elderly, younger.
Beneficiaries were grateful for the kind gesture.
The one way they take care of people. Even last year, I come collect drugs for here, and that drugs helped me.
When you look at it, you know that this one is God, it's just God. And I really want to thank because I've really benefited from it.
Majority of the residents had malaria. Residents of Pipeline Community in Kubwa were called upon to care for the environment. This outreach is also in tandem with the Sustainable Development Goals 3, that is to ensure proper health care and well-being of humans.
And still talking health, in a society longing for attention, love, care, and acceptance is imperative. Individuals, corporate bodies, and governments at all levels are expected to set policies in support of people with special needs, especially children with autism. Cecilia Julius in this report has raised the neurological disorder as the world celebrates Autistic Pride Day with the theme, transforming the narrative contributions at home, at work, in the arts, and in policy making.
According to reports, Autistic Pride Day was first celebrated in Brazil in 2005. It was created by Garrett and Amy Nelson and has continued to raise awareness of autism and pinpoint similarities and differences among people with the condition. The theme focuses on the necessary change that must be brought into the narrative of autistic people so that society will be more welcoming at work and arts as parents and caregivers advocate for empathy to combat stigma.
When I had him in 2004 and we began to see many problems, we really didn't know what to do. I have received so many negative comments. I've been abused, I've been called a witch.
I've had situations where people call my son names, like he's mad because they don't understand, or that he's daft.
Without the government's involvement, parents of special needs have a lot of burden. Educating them is not cheap, it's not easy. They can't be included in the same school as their typical classmates. It's expensive, but if government intervenes, it becomes a lot less burdensome.
Studies show that about 110 children are diagnosed with autism. Therefore, experts maintain that children with autism eventually function and lead full lives.
Government should support parents that have autistic children, because care of autistic child is very, very enormous, and put institutional framework that will address this kind of issue, because whether we like it or not, it's here with us and it's on the increase. Preventive measures therefore involves minimize screen time, prematurity. A woman that is pregnant, they should manage the pregnancy very well so that the pregnancy can reach time. Give children natural foods as much as possible. They don't contain chemicals that could affect the function of the gut.
It is therefore important that our goal should be to treat autistic persons with respect and empathy, as well as provide equal opportunities for them in society.
Are hard to find, but they're still heavy on my mind tonight. The pain is deep inside, but I still want to hide. Happy birthday!
Is this what you really want to do?
Yes, Dad. That's what I've been trying to show you.
Fight for your dreams the advanced way with Glow LTE Advanced. The power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Naija, how on a day? The Global Strengthening Families Conference is here once again. Join the Strengthening Families Conference Abuja 2023, happening at the Abuja International Conference Center from 21st to 22nd June 2023 with the theme Strengthening Marriages. This conference will be both virtual and in person. Visit www.strengtheningfamily.org to register and participate. Remember, registration is free.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, the Association of Wives of FCT Traditional Rulers has expressed determination to chart a way forward on issues of gender-based violence and other injustices to rural women, urging all stakeholders to deliberate and review the laws to help victims and women in the FCT. Hawa Gimba reports.
The campaign against gender-based violence by FCT Traditional Rulers Wives Association began 2 years ago with the mission to help indigenous women in the FCT to voice out whenever they are being victimized or issues of gender violence occurs. Seated here are traditional chiefs from the 6 area councils, stakeholders, as well as civil society organizations, reviewing the laws that will help the FCT indigenous women. Some members who are in support for the new laws to be enacted says it will help FCT indigenous women even after going through traditional justice laws.
This is the first of its kind in FCT for the wives of the traditional rulers to come together in achieving a tangible goal. Therefore, in our own side as an administration, we are obliged.
But we're just observing there's a little gap, because when you are a victim, you undergo a lot of trauma. We realize that the victims need to have people who are specially trained.
I think we should uphold the VAP Act, and then if truly they cannot afford the fee, they can approach the Legal Aid Council.
Wife of Sapei, Hanatu Unga, says after deliberations, the outcome will be delivered to FCT indigenous women, especially in the grassroots.
But we are trying to see how they can amend to human rights.
It is expected that with proper scrutiny of the laws for indigenous women, the association will come up with a new bill to stop such native and unscrupulous practices against indigenous women.
The Hunt Talent Show and Discussion Session is geared towards tackling those issues that affect the Abuja music industry, when Dogo reports that some of the big players in the city's music scene came together to discuss the way forward in harnessing the potentials in the city music industry.
Everybody can use
The Abuja music industry has been thriving for a long time, with different artists like Stiplers and others who have represented the city at different stages in the country and around the world. But even with this many talents available, there seems to be a slow growth and less support to its entertainment space.
And today I go around and see people want to do 2,000 people events and they want to do it overnight. You can't do it overnight. You need friends, you need partnership, you need to go out there.
A music entertainment hub, Phoenix Distro and its partners say the events with the topic The Potentials of the Abuja Music Industry is meant to help Abuja artists understand how the music business works and amplify Abuja music to the world.
To invest in these talents by giving them distribution deals or record label deals. This will help them propel their career to the next level.
The right investments to build the right and create the right experiences, and of course amplify it, to a larger market. So I'll say partnership probably accounts for 80% of the success of what you do as an entertainer.
Like I said earlier, we're going to be opening up a hub, and we're also going to be directly engaging with our Abuja community of music to be able to do more than has ever been done. We see Abuja as a very strong music hub in Nigeria.
Speakers at the event highlighted the importance of a proper mentorship platform in the Abuja music space, and also the need for Abuja artists to invest not just in developing their talents, but also in promoting their arts.
So that the new generation of creatives, the new generation of aspiring agency owners, musicians, copywriters, whatever.
And next is entertainment news.
On entertainment news this week, the globe-trotting West African folktale is headed to Nigerian cinemas. The producer and partner head of production at Ferry Film Company took to Twitter to hint at a release date for the award-winning movie. Nigerian theoretical release date announcing soon, she teased. Since making its world premiere at Sundance earlier this year, the movie has screened across the world, had its African premiere at FESPACO. Moving on to music, after 4 impressive projects, Sintizo returns with his self-proclaimed title album, Dues, as he aims to roll back the years and remind listeners of his captivating talent. Released on June 16, 2023, Dues is a project Sintizo wrote from a position of pain, prophetic space, and emotion, with all songs on the album derived from real-life situation. And also, Nigerian superstar Asake releases his second album, Work of Art. The 14-track album includes the previously released singles 230, Yoga, and the latest single, Amapiano, which includes the album's lone feature, Olamide. Work of Art is the follow-up to Asake's debut album, Mr. Money with the Vibe, which was released on September 7th, 2022. It sets the record for becoming the highest charting Nigerian debut album of all time, reaching #1 in over 30 countries on Apple Music. On a sad note, Nollywood has been plunged into grief following the untimely passing of veteran actor Don Braimo. The actor breathed his last on Wednesday night, reportedly to a partial stroke and elevated blood sugar levels. Don Braimo, known mostly for his portrayal of Igwe roles in movies, born in 1966 in Anambra State. Don Braimo officially entered the film industry in 2000. His filmography includes notable titles such as Anger of a Wonder Girl, Ikemba, Ritual of Vengeance, and Wedding in Nigeria, among others.
And next is Weekly News Wrap with Aisha Uba Ali.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap. I am Aisha Uba Ali. Let's begin the segment with the presidential broadcast of Democracy Day. President Bola Tinubu enjoined Nigerians to rededicate themselves to strengthen democracy as form of government of the people.
The point is that we must never take this democracy for granted. We must forever jealously guard and protect it like a precious jewel. For a people can never truly appreciate the freedom and the right democracy guarantees them until they lose it.
The president also called those on elective positions to recommit themselves to selfless service. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the week also approved the appointment of special advisors. Also from the presidency, the president has indicated commitment to the education sector as he signed the student loan bill and the week on the review.
If you cannot finance yourself, we give you a loan. You complete the education. When you get the work, only when you start working and with the capacity to pay, then you start to pay.
And to cushion the effect of subsidy removal, the National Economic Council has set up a committee to provide palliative for Nigerians. And on Tuesday last week, the new leadership of the National Assembly elected their leaders as Godswill Akpabio emerged the Senate President, while Jibrin Barrow emerged Deputy Senate President. Also, at the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas emerged Speaker of the House, while Benjamin Kalu from Abia State emerged Deputy Speaker in an open ballot election. The leadership of the newly inaugurated 10th Assembly visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the State House to appreciate the President for his support to the success of the inauguration.
Harmonize with the executive where necessary, but where there is a conflict of interest, where we feel that the executive is or wants to do something that is not against, is not in the interest of the public, they know that will stand up against that.
And on census, the National Population Commission last week in a breakfast chat with media executives reiterated the Commission's commitment to provide credible and accountable 2023 population and housing census.
When the new president settles down, he will be briefed, and then he will now give us his go-ahead.
Also in the week, residents of Abuja witnessed a slash in the price of cooking gas. These, the FCT residents say, is a welcoming development and encouraging. And they also reacted to this.
About 720 per kg, but now we sell at 680. That's 8,500.
I'm so happy.
And that is it on Weekly News Wrap. The news continues shortly.
Thank you very much, Aisha. And just a bit of sports. Remember, we told you that Nigeria had just qualified for the AFCON 2023. And with 2 goals from Victor Osimhen and 1 from Kelechi Iheanacho, suffice for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to book their place in the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire The Eagles now have finished with 12 points ahead of Guinea, who have 10 points. And that's it on Sunday Magazine. We thank you so much for watching. Let's do this again same time next week. Till then, I remain Ifoma Ojinta. Bye for now.